So I'd like to share with you the best I have learned and practiced on goal setting. First of all, I'd like to say that we are all affected by 5 factors. The first is environment. The second is events. The third is knowledge. The fourth is results. And the fifth, and often overlooked factor that affects our lives is our view of the future, our dreams. I won't get into all of these influences here, but let me concentrate on the fifth one, dreams. Of all these 5 influences, make sure your dreams are the greatest influence on your daily decisions and activity. Put another way, make sure that the greatest pull on you is the pull of the future. For your dreams to greatly influence you, or the future to pull you, your future must be well planned. There are 2 ways to face the future. One is with apprehension, the other with anticipation. Guess how many people face the future with apprehension? Why? They don't have it well designed. And without really thinking about it, they have probably bought someone else's view of how to live. You will face the future with anticipation when you have planned a future you can get excited about. When you have designed your future results in advance. In this way, the future will capture your imagination. It will exert an enormous influence on you. And to design your future, you must have goals. Well-defined goals are like a magnet. They pull you in their direction. And the better you have defined them, the better you have described them, the harder you work on them, the stronger they pull. And they pull you through all kinds of difficulties, too. Without goals, it is easy to let life deteriorate to the point where you're just making a living. It is not difficult to get trapped by economic necessity and settle for existence rather than substance. We all have a choice. We can either make a living or design a life.
Look at and evaluating yourself to make that determination. Other thing is that in order to get out of a rut, we need some coaching. Find some trusted critics. People that you know care about you and love you. So there's some things that keeps us from growing and getting out of ruts. Number one, we identify with feedback. We take it personal when someone wants to give us some feedback on where we are falling short and tell us about our blind spots. We want to have everything being positive about us. We're not perfect. It hurts. I have a friend who's a trusted critic. I don't like him, but I love him. He doesn't tell me the things I want to hear. He tells me what I need to hear so I can grow. It hurts. It hurts when he put me on the hot seat. I can't stand it. But that's the only way that I can grow. And I'm glad that he loves me enough to risk our friendship to tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Get a support group, somebody that you can talk to. People who perhaps might have a similar problem. Support groups are very powerful, that you can share some of the challenges that you're going through. And it might be a situation where one person can give you an idea of how they handle that situation and create an opening for you. Begin to stimulate some possibilities in your mind on how you can resolve the problem. We can't grow by ourselves. As I mentioned before, we grow from people and projects. The other thing is about life, when things happen to you, when you permit things to use you, you can't change the past, but you can interpret. You can reinterpret how you see it. For years, I was going around with a heavy load on my shoulders, feeling bad because I was adopted, doing interviews for adoption agencies and foster homes. And I was on television once, and I told these people in this particular interview that I was giving away my twin brother and I when we were 6 weeks of age. A friend of mine, fortunately, was listening to the program, and she said, "Les, I'd like to have lunch with you." And so I went over to see her. She said, when a woman carries a baby for 9 months, feeling that life movement in her, it's automatic and natural for her to learn to love that baby, to expect it to come here when she bears the pain to bring it into the world. Your mother, Mamie Brown, when she came in to adopt you guys, she didn't go through that process. She looked at whoever your biological mother was and said, "I'll take her." You weren't given away less. You were chosen with love.
I'm addicted to changing my thermostat all the time. It's the #1 obsession of my life is my time and my thermostat. I know as I change that because I understand the reticular activator. I know how to obsess. I know that I check this phone 450 times a day as the average person checks smartphone. Did you know that? 450 times a day. Big achievers like me and you, 700-800 times a day. So guess what screensaver is on my phone? My goal, what I want. It goes right into my RAS 450 times a day. I have 5 triggers in my day. When I wake up, boom, what I want. When I touch my car door, boom, what I want. When I walk in my office, boom, what I want. When I walk in the gym, boom, what I want. When I go to bed at night, boom, what I want. I have 5 triggers that trigger me, repeating into my mind over and over and over again what it is I want. And guess what I seem to find all the time? The people, places, and things and resources that I need. I find my red Acuras all the time. So you ought to change the way you program your phone. You need to change your identity. You need to go to work on this. These are the things. If you repeat back the things I've said said today. These are the things that alter who you are and who you become ultimately. Your mess can be repurposed only if you use the RAS, only if you change your thermostat. But you combine, you show me somebody in here like me, right? Alcoholic family, insecure, shy, broke, Velcro Mercedes, goofed up property, and you show me someone with my life. You know how that happened? My family didn't think like this. My family's not dreamers. They're great people. I never went on a vacation as a kid. We never thought about going on vacation. We don't talk or think like this. We're just good people, man. We just take care of our family and love each other. But we never wanted to achieve or win or...
You need somebody who is called to serve, to lift the load, to carry the weight, who understands the difference between the kitchen and restaurant. This morning, I'm supposed to be talking to kitchen folks. This is where we get real and let it rip, get down, because we know what it takes to make the peach flambe and the beef stroganoff. Came through a cussing fit and it came out and served it, voila. If you're working in a ministry and it's chaotic and it's confusing and you're working with somebody who doesn't do their job and comes late all the time and they're always up in the pastor's face grinning, and when the pastor comes in, they're so wonderful, but when the pastor leaves, they don't do jack city. Welcome to the kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen. It doesn't matter whether you're a word of faith of worth, or a consecrated, fire-baptized church of the living God in Christ Jesus. Every church worth its salt has a distinction between the kitchen and the restaurant. Elijah was worn out because he didn't have the right people in the kitchen. Restaurant was incredible. You got to have the right person in the kitchen. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you don't have the right people in the kitchen, you'll never accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. I'm going to give you three different distinctions. I talk about this in my book, Reposition Yourself, but I'm just going to throw three different distinctions. There are three classes of people that you have to deal with as a leader. Number one is confidants. That's the smallest group. It's the smallest category. You only have a few in that category. Confidants. If you have 2 or 3 in your whole life, you're a rich person. Confidants are people who are for you. They can see your hind end and still love. Can I say hind end? Is it all right? This is my first time here. I don't want to offend anybody. You can oh God, can I come back? Woo. He said you keep cussing. Bless God. And so like I was saying, I love this guy, man. I love you. Woo. Excuse me, I just like the freedom. I'm not going to use it, but this is the free. I'm like Paul and Silas. In jail, they opened up the prison, but they didn't go out. It's just nice to know you can get out if you need to, you know.
So what I want to make sure that you and I do is we set ourselves up to be able to win. So there's 3 things I'd like to walk you through. 1, I'd like to walk you through how to the competitive edge that's going to get you both the performance you want at the highest level and also the fulfillment you want. Because if you want to know my view, I can tell you there's 2 master lessons in life. Lesson 1 is the science of achievement. If you want an extraordinary life, if you want a magnificent life, which by my definition has nothing to do with me, it's life on your terms. Some of you, what's an extraordinary life? It's having a cool little company. For some of you, it's having a big billion-dollar company. For some of you, it's not a company. It's 3 wonderful children that you totally love and adore and spend time with. For some of you, it's poetry. For some of you, it's making a difference in the environment. It's different for all of us. It's life on your terms. But if you're going to have an extraordinary life, you need to master, number 1, the science of achievement, which most of you are damn good at or you wouldn't be in this room. Right? You know how to go from where you are, have a vision, make it real. Speeding that up, that's my business. When Mark talked about, he actually showed me the other day, we were together a couple days ago, and he showed me the very first day he did his V2 Mom, which is really a simple way of saying, what do you really want? What's your vision? Your values is, why do you want it? And walking through the obstacles and the solutions, strategies to get where you want to go. And he showed me on the back of an American Express bill where they designed on the very first day, Salesforce. And there you see that day where he engaged. He engaged in his vision instead of settling for a life that someone else had designed. He had a great life, extraordinary life. Top guy at Oracle, working for one of the most brilliant people on the face of the earth. Can you imagine how hard it would be to leave there and start something from scratch? But he had something larger that he wanted. So how do you do that? How do you get yourself there? You got to understand the science of achievement. But I know so many people I get the call from, most successful in the world, business person, politician, leader of some sort, economic leader, financial trader, and they call me up and they want me to change something in their business, but I know what they really want. They really want to find
Find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you. The single most important lesson I learned in 25 years talking every single day to people was that there's a common denominator in our human experience. We want to be validated. We want to be understood. I've done over 35,000 interviews in my career. And as soon as that camera shuts off, everyone always turns to me and inevitably in their own way asks this question: was that okay? I heard it from President Bush. I heard it from President Obama. I've heard it from heroes and from housewives. I've heard it from victims and perpetrators of crimes. I even heard it from Beyonce and all of her Beyonce-ness. Friends and family, yours, enemies, strangers, in every argument, in every encounter, every exchange, I will tell you, they all want to know one thing: is that okay? Did you hear me? Do you see me? Did what I say mean anything to you? My hope is that you will try to go out and have more face-to-face conversations with people you may disagree with. That you'll have the courage to look them in the eye and hear their point of view, and help make sure that the speed and distance and anonymity of our world doesn't cause us to lose our ability to stand in somebody else's shoes and recognize all that we share as a people. This is imperative for you as an individual and for our success as a nation. So whether you call it soul or spirit or higher self, intelligence, there is, I know this, there's a light inside each of you, all of us, that illuminates your very human beingness if you let it. And as a young girl from rural Mississippi, I learned long ago that being myself was much easier than pretending to be Barbara Walters. Although when I first started, because I had Barbara in my head, I would try to sit like Barbara, talk like Barbara, move like Barbara. And then one night I was on the news, reading the news, and I called Canada Canada. And that was the end of me being Barbara. I cracked myself up on TV, couldn't stop laughing, and my real personality came through. And I figured out, oh gee, I can be a much better Oprah than I could be a pretend Barbara.